Welcome back everyone to the coverage of the See It Indian Supercross Racing League from the Shri Shriv Chhatrapati Sports Complex in Pune, where we are currently having the sighting lap for the 250cc international category. These guys are fierce competitors. They've raced in so many countries across the globe, and the average age of this category is just 23. Yes, these are young guns that in the future will be competing alongside the best of the very best. But who really catches your eye in this class, Lee?
Well, there were so many watching in practice and time qualifying. I'm a little bit of a fan favourite of our young gun Australian rider, Reed Taylor, but a little bit more about him later on. Hugo Manzardo is super fast and has a very good resume, I must say, from the SG speed races. But any number of riders in this class could win this race, and that's what I like about the 250cc international category. The 450s, it's a very, very pointy field at the head of the pack.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at all the riders competing in this 250cc Moto class. There are going to be many big major ones, but Reed Taylor is going to be the standout. This guy from Australia is going to be racing for Big Rock Motorsport, and my word, I mean, Reed Taylor, he's not had the best of resume, to be very honest with you. He's not won any major championships per se, but coming out here, he's really surprised us with his confidence on the bike.
Yes, and he got a 5th place last year in the Australian Supercross Championships, and that was his rookie year. Super impressive job for young Reed Taylor. And of course, how can we forget about second fastest in time qualifying, Hugo Manzardo, riding for SG Speed Races. He's out of France. He got 5th in the SX2 Supercross Tour for the French Championship in 2022. So this guy knows how to ride Supercross. Unlike Reed Taylor, who's a rookie, and he is just earning his stripes. But I like the trade-off here that we've got. The youthfulness up against the experience. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Honestly, I cannot look beyond Reed Taylor. He has been phenomenal. But folks, also keep an eye out on number 259 in that green Montes Kawasaki. Julien Lebeau has been quite a force, a 3-time German Supercross champion. And this 26-year-old is going to be one to watch for.
We also had Enzo Pelaez from France out of the Gujarat Trailblazers, who was exceptionally fast in practice. Clement Briat was another one, another Frenchman. So many French riders that we've got down there on the start line. Nick Laurie is a young gun out of the United States of America who is hoping to step up into the pro ranks anytime soon in America.
And we've got riders as young as 15 years old as well. Alex Lachera's daughter is only 15 and he's also racing for Ryzen Motorsports in their Kawasaki. That's the diversity of this grid. We've got riders who are roughly 31 years old as well and have competed in races like the AMA Pro Supercross and the German Supercross as well. And there are also kids, literal kids like Alex Lachera's daughter, also competing with them. That's the diversity of this class. Good to go racingly almost.
Something we need to consider is, can you jump out of the gate? It's one thing to be the fastest in all 3 of our practice sessions, like we have seen, of course, from Reed Taylor from Australia, but can he jump out of the gate? Let's see, what a jump. It looks like he has got himself an incredible start there. Talk about being on fire at the moment.
Hang on a second, there is a rider who has crashed all the way back down. That seems to be Uli
Stocker out of Germany has gone down very, very early, and I just spotted in the back of the pack there, number 49, that's Caleb Goulet riding for Big Rock out of Australia. But the other Australian, his teammate also on Big Rock, is setting us on fire here. Let's have a look at the drop of the gate. Number 86 from the middle, just to the left of the dog box as we were looking at it. You cannot get a better start than that.
I mean, he flew off quite like a Tejas fighter jet away from the field completely within a second. The blink of an eye, and there he was, Reed Taylor leading. And by the way, in this one lap, Reed Taylor has managed to pull out a gap of 2.5 seconds in a lap. For context, Johnny Dixia did that in an entire race. Reed Taylor is clearly firing away and flying away from the entire field. This guy is on a mission.
Did you see he had a little bit of a sneaky look over his right shoulder there as he landed off the big triple, our biggest jump on the track? And yes, you do have that much of a gap already, and we are just 1 minute and 12 seconds into this race. He is having the weekend of a lifetime so far.
This doesn't make sense, ladies and gentlemen, because in practice, Reed Taylor was not fastest by that much. Only 6 thousandths of a second by Hugo Manzardo, who's currently P3 for the HD speed races. 6,000 of a second is lesser than in what you can blink your eye. But right now, he's got such an incredible jump. That's what he mentioned in that earlier graphic that we had, Lee. The start, that is everything. Even though these riders in terms of raw pace might be so similar, Reed got the whole shot, and that means everything in this 8-minute race.
Now I tell you, Samil, someone that will be out on the side of the track cheering him on will be his teammate and one of his best friends from back in Australia, and that is Matt Moss. What a huge leap that we just saw from the number 965, Hugo Manzardo.
And that was such a chaotic jump. Hugo Manzardo on the jump, being able to get past Nick Lawry right there. He got the momentum all the way off, and Nick Lawry just saw him flying above him, saying, my word, how can you do that, Hugo? Here's that jump right for you, going side by side, and on the exit, Hugo Manzardo was on another planet.
Now, Hugo Manzardo was the only rider yet within Kui of our race leader at the moment, Reed Taylor. Now, I'm just trying to see what has happened here on our leaderboard at the moment. No, it has changed back.
We're going to see a potential pass for second place. Yes, indeed. This is a decisive one. Hugo Manzardo, even though he's got second right now, has run away with it. Nick Lawry was the man he passed. Nick Lawry at the moment in time in that red BB Racing Honda that you see right there. In a fierce battle with Enzo Polias. Enzo's gone down the inside. And yes, the highest bid rider in this entire series has gotten into P3. The Gujarat Trailblazers have a man on the podium, and that man is Enzo Polias in that 335 KTM.
Reed Taylor riding for Big Rock Motorsports has himself a 7.2 second lead over Hugo Manzardo, his arch rival. Now, over the next couple of laps, that's what we need to keep our eye on. Manzardo will be wanting to try to chip into that lead, so let's watch closely.
And that's how Enzo Polias got into P3. Very similar coming into the jumps, but got the favored inside line, and he saw the rear end stepping out for Nick Lawry, and that was the end of his dream for P3. But he could still fight back. It's a 10-minute race. We've got 6 minutes plus 2 more laps, so there's ample of time for Lawry to get back in and get into P3.
We're only 3 minutes 50 we have ticked off on the clock. Like you said, 10 minutes plus 2 laps. Now, with so much action that we've seen in the early stages of this race so far, we have got so much more time. This is very exciting. Reed Taylor, as he has just crossed the finish line, and we're watching the battle erupting behind him. 8 seconds now, 8.1 seconds the gap back to Hugo Manzardo. This is fantastic news for Big Rock as the gap is expanding.
And what other big stories do we have right here? At this moment in time, Reed Taylor has pulled out 8 seconds. That is no joke. 8 seconds is kind of like winning a test match by an innings. And there's a big move on the inside. That, ladies and gentlemen, would be Julien Lebeau. He's gotten past Michael Lamarck heading into P6, and that's the Moto Racing team getting one more position. So there's action all the way through, and that's the beautiful part about this incredible circuit that we have right here at the Shri Shiv Chhatrapati Sports Complex. The hairpins, only 2 of them, but those 2 passing opportunities have created so many chances for the riders. So just put a foot in the door and say, buddy, I'm going to go past, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Now we need to remember the points tally. Of course, 20 points for first place, 17 for second, so there's a 3-point gap between first and second place, and then we go back to 15 points.
Sorry to cut in there, Lee, but that seems to be a beautiful move. That would happen to be Clément Briat getting past Nick Lawry for P4, just taking the finer inside line, and they're going side by side heading into the final part of the circuit right now. That was so well planned and executed. I mean, Nick Lawry couldn't even see it coming.
Look, I think Nick Lawry got himself a very good start. He started off in second place, and he started to shuffle his way back through the field. As we have a little bit of a look at a replay here, let's watch as they come out of the first of the U-turns, the Hilux U-turn. A beautiful pass set up. Now, no bike contact, no going down as far as passing moves go. I know that was a little bit exciting, but they get a lot more aggressive than that, let me tell you.
Talk about exciting, and we've got another battle coming in right here. That seems to be Clément Briat and Julien Lebeau going side by side, heading towards the rhythm section. And it is Clément Briat in that 851 Gujarat Trailblazers bike, fighting the Moto Racing team rider behind him. This is going to be absolutely chaotic, because this battle is for P4. This would mean 12 points for all of them, and that actually, yeah, that would be 12 points, right? I just forget my math sometimes in the middle of a race, but that would be 12 very important points. And considering the context of the entire battle, the fact that we have two Gujarat Trailblazers bikes in the top 5, for Julien Lebeau, he would want to get on that top 7 of the podium and maybe just eke a little bit of offensive pull right there.
8.3 the second gap between Reed Taylor back to Hugo Manzardo. The gap remaining exactly the same, and that is Reed Taylor controlling it. Scratch that, it has gone to 9.1. Talk about being on fire at the moment. Taylor extending his lead over his main rival, Hugo Manzardo, and then a further 5 seconds back to Enzo Polias. I was honestly thinking that we would have seen a little bit more form from Michael Lamarck back there in 6th place, who is trying to make his way up through the pack.
And we take a look at what he's trying to do at this moment in time. He's closing up to Clément Briat. He lit Michael Lamarck right now, folks, for BB Racing. He's a rider who's got tons and tons of experience. He's raced in the French Supercross Championship at the SX2 level, which is quite something to do, and also at the heights of the Dortmund Supercross, which would be kind of like competing in the ADB Masters 1000. He's done that, but at the SX2 level, in the 250cc category. He has seen stadiums like this. He has performed in front of crowds like this. But at this moment in time, he's just slightly suffering from the pressure, because at this moment in time, he made that one error that allowed so many riders to go past. Lamarck was on the podium, and then Julien Lebeau and then Clément Briat were able to get past, and that's not the best sign for the BB Racing rider. But this guy, well, he is chilling Reed Taylor. I mean, casual Sunday evening bike ride, right? Totally not a thing for him to do.
It's great to have Reed Taylor back on screen again after watching so closely some of the battles erupting throughout the middle of the pack. But this is smoothness. This is poetry in motion. This is what it looks like when someone is on fire. 9.2 seconds now the gap, and he is controlling the race spectacularly well. And we have got 8 minutes 25 on the clock, so about a minute and a half to go, and there will be 2 laps remaining for Reed Taylor. You would not think that this is a rookie.
Absolutely. We've all heard of that book, Finding Your Ikigai. Something that makes you feel like you're flowing, something that feels like time flies by and you're creating magic. That is what you're seeing with Reed Taylor right now. This buddy is only 20. He's doing jumps that are this tall, jumps that are this long, passing riders that are almost, 10 years older than him. He's actually showing the world that he's a class apart from all of them, and that takes quite something at just a raw age of 20, where, by the way, you don't even know how to manage your finances of all things. That is some performance from Reed Taylor right now, and I'm sure he'd love to say that a boring race is a good race, because no competition, no chaos, that's what all Supercross riders would like to have. Total domination.
Reed Taylor would be treating this just like a training session at home. He'd be pretending he's out there with his mechanic, with the pit board out, giving him messages. This is what your lap time is. Keep concentrating. And I tell you, at the moment, as we get into the dying stages of this race, just 30 seconds left to go before he receives the 2-lap to go board, he would be starting to think to himself, no mistakes, please, no mistakes. Or can I hear a noise from the motorbike? You start to hear all these voices in your head. You just need to keep your focus and stay concentrating.
There's a big pass right there. I think that would have to be Michael Lamarck fighting against Maximilian Werner. That is indeed, no, that is Michael Lamarck fighting against Clément Briat for B4. There is madness all the way down to the final couple of laps of this race. And as it stands, Clément Briat in P5 has taken that position ahead of Michael Lamarck. Clément Briat ahead of Michael Lamarck in P5. Both the BB Racing riders having some absolute chaos, and heading into the final couple of laps left to go. Things are about to go right down to the wire, Lee.
Well, we just saw the 2-lap to go board come out, so certainly our race leader has received that. He's got about a lap and a half to go, and there we see number 226, and that of course is Nick Laurie. He's trying to get out of the way, but back on screen at the moment, it is all about our race leader Reed Taylor riding for Big Rock Motorsports. He has received the 1-lap to go flag, and it is all about this man here. The crowd is going wild. He's about to take his first ever international race win.
At just the raw age of 20, Reed Taylor has absolutely been a class apart. Right from the very beginning of this race, when he had the brilliant hold shot, Reed Taylor has been schooling riders that are far, far older than him. As he rounds to the final couple of corners, this is going to be quite an emotional and a historic win for Reed Taylor, coming home for the Big Rock Motorsport team.
All the way from Australia, taking the checkered flags and a nice little heel clicker to boot. He has travelled a long way and he has taken maximum points for the Big Rock Motorsports team. And have a look at that, he is ecstatic.
It's a dominating double for the Big Rock Motorsport team. 2 out of 3 race wins for them. A dominant performance by Reed Taylor, the 20-year-old from Australia, who's just gone out there and has smashed a home run, or rather a big flat 6 over the entire stadium. Reed Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, your winner for Big Rock Motorsport.
The beautiful slow-mo replay we see here of jumping out of the gate. Reed Taylor was in an absolute league of his own. What a beautiful slow-mo we're seeing here of his style.
And he won it at the start. The whole shot that he got, far, far away from all the other riders around him. He was just clean as a whistle, no mistakes, and winning by 11 seconds. 11 seconds is like winning by an inning. That is impossible stuff from a 20-year-old. And Lee Taylor jumping and celebrating in style. This guy was just on a casual Sunday evening ride.
Well, it was looking like from the drop of the gate, we knew he was going to get his whole shot that he wanted so badly. He jumped out of the gate, tipped it into the first turn, and almost had no competition.
What a show off Reed Taylor is. But let's hear from him right now as he's standing by with Sagarika.
Reed, that was a dominating performance. What does it mean to win the first ever race for your team, Big Rock?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's my first time in India, so yeah, I'm pumped. Got off to a good start, and yeah, the track's really tough. It's really slippery, so yeah, once I got quite comfortable, yeah, just cruised her home.
Which part of the track do you think was the crucial one?
Every slippery bit, really, like up to the jumps, yeah, it's really slipped, so you have to have quite good throttle control, and yeah.
You have anything to say to the fans who are watching you right now?
Yeah, the fans are awesome. I could hear you out there, and yeah, legends.
Thank you so much and congratulations. Good luck for the next one.
Thank you.
Incredible stuff hearing from Reed Taylor, and I'm surprised. This guy shows no emotions. There's no smile on his face. He's not smiling. He's not jumping around. It seems like Reed Taylor almost knew that this was coming. And that level of confidence from a 20-year-old, that takes quite something.
Well, Samil, to me, that looks like a man on a mission. He means business, and I would have expected him to be a little bit surprised with his first ever international win. He expected that to happen, and I believe he's going to come out and do the same in the second moto and try to get maximum points for Big Rock. Let's take a look at the results from Moto 1. Reed Taylor, maximum points, scoring 20 for Big Rock Motorsports. Hugo Manzardo back there in second place with 17. And of course, Julian Lebeau back there in third place for Mahites.
And then we had Michael Lamarck in P5 for BB Racing, Clément Briat in P6 for the Gujarat Trailblazers, who had quite a good race with 2 riders in the top 6. And then we had a few more riders. Maximilian Werner in P7, and then we should go back later because we have Caleb Gula in P9, Alex Sherazorto, the 15-year-old, in P10, Uli Stocker in P11, and Nick Laurie, unfortunately for BB Racing, only completing very few laps. He wasn't even in the fight all the way through.